All right, I'd like to talk to you about large-scale human cooperation. Cooperation, big picture stuff. Societies get together to make the Great Lighthouse amazing, inspiring projects. These, I think, are cool. All right, first I'm going to, though, talk about animals and sort of small-scale cooperation, and then humans at the small scale, and then I'll progress to large-scale, the meat of the talk, the real, like, inspiring projects that humans can put together. Bees are animals. They're an excellent example. A worker bee will sacrifice itself to protect the hive. But this is all very sort of innate behavior. It's not learned, and so maybe not so applicable to humans. Penguins, a little closer. Penguins will do this wonderful thing, well, where they'll hang out on a iceberg, worrying about whether there's a predator in the water. And then eventually someone has to be the first penguin in the water to see if it's good. And it's just like this selfless act of like, I'll go and maybe I'll be eaten. Although there's also some evidence that maybe that, like, I'll go penguin was shoved by his friends, so penguins are sort of assholes. It's unclear. There's like arguments in both ways.
Like dolphins.
Yeah. Humans, though, a great example is the ultimatum game. Give the giver, George the giver gets $10 and, say, in this example, transfers $2 or any amount to Rachel the receiver. Now, Rachel can either opt for the approach on the left or the right. She can either say $2 sounds good, or she can be like, no, I don't want it. In which case, they both come to 0, and it totally happens. And when you do this in general, you get an average of $4 given to Rachel. But I think the real good evidence for cooperation is that if you remove Rachel's ability to kill everything, Rachel still gets about $2. So when you're presented with people in front of you, you're like, look, I just got this $10, have some. We can work together, it's great. And on a larger scale, this is like me and Rachel, philanthropy is this should give you warm fuzzies. Look at this chart of inflation-adjusted dollars. Just look at the bars. From the left to the right of the past 30 years, people in America are giving more and more money to philanthropy, so that's pretty cool. But also, within each one of these bars is innumerable different causes, and sometimes they conflict. So it's not the sort of cooperation like we're all in it together here. It's, certainly one of these bars isn't. The Manhattan Project, though, really? There's an animation of a blowing up nuclear bomb. Produce nuclear weapons, 100,000 people, 5 years, fantastic, right? And there's a little anecdote on how this came to be that I'd like to share with you. Richard, did I just do a thing? It's okay. Richard Feynman has this, he has a team, he's working on the bomb, and it's not working well until he shares with his team the reason, the why, the how, the details. And basically it's a great transformation. They start working wonderfully, and them and others, they create this amazing success. In that they made bombs which killed a lot of people. But still, cooperation. The Great Leap Forward is such the opposite. Transform China, right? Big scale Mao Zedong, 1950s China. We're going to change the way the country works. We're going to increase urbanization. We're going to socialize a lot. We're going to socialize a lot of the way the world works. We're going to compete with the states. Concrete goals: increase the production of grain steel. Use the population of China. Use 3 years. Turns out, grain production goes down. Steel production does double. But the big fail is this: deaths. 9/11 is on the left. Area represents number of deaths. This is the Great Leap Forward. That's World War II. It's bigger than the World War II. Everyone dies. It's a total disaster. Not as bad as the plague. One of the reasons that this happens is that there's this knowledge gap, right? There's this problem where the peasants in China are making steel, but they don't know what this is for, and it turns out their steel is of inferior quality. And apparently I changed this, but didn't quite update. So their steel is of inferior quality, and as a result, their steel does not do what it needs to. It doesn't hold up for the bridges and the roads. So, in summary, all of this wondrous the projects, we don't do it anymore. Big science is mostly out of fashion. You don't do huge amounts of research. You don't do we don't go. This is sorry. we don't go after the big projects. We don't do huge research projects. We don't try and make hyperloops. We make bridges, which are cool. They're cooperative on the order of like 3 years and 300 people, but not like 300,000 people. And I think that's like I think the time can come back where we do these big projects.
Maybe
Thank
it
you.
took 20 years.